Hello one and all, it's my review of The Promised Neverland, chapter 163, Reversal, and not gonna lie, when this chapter opened up with Sonju and Mujika, I was fairly disappointed. I think a lot of us were. I mean, seriously, last episode brought back freaking Isabella! Grandma Isabella! I have so many questions about that! So many freaking questions! Oh my god. But no, sadly, this is about Mujika and Sonju, and even though I just said that, it was still a great chapter, still adding to the story. I think overall it's going to be really interesting to see how all these different pieces play together. Anyway, it opens up with them waking up the High Priest, and he is understandably a little confused about all this. I mean, seriously, when he went into his hibernation, I don't think he ever actually expected anyone to wake him up. I figured he'd say, alright, well, I'm going to hibernation until I die. That'll be my repentance for the sins of my people, I guess. Instead, he wakes up to find the prince and the girl he's never met before standing over him, offering him up their blood. So interesting, to say the least. And then they feed him a story that's not all that easy to believe, gotta say. I mean, seriously, humans essentially teamed up with the long-lost regent to murder all the other regent houses and kill the queen, the strongest queen in the entire world, the strongest demon in the entire world. That's quite a story he's got to tell right there. Oh, plus, one of the girls actually met with the Promise Keeper. I don't know if he's important to your religion. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. I mean, it's something I've been debating a lot. I called him a god for quite a while, but if the promise goes against the teachings they follow, then it couldn't have been the god. It couldn't have been the god they worship who made that promise. So a lot of questions about that. Hopefully, we get some explanation on their religion. That'd definitely be interesting. I definitely like this guy, the way he's coming off. Essentially, he doesn't celebrate the death of the queen or the regent houses, even though they were so overwhelmingly corrupt, because, as a man of the gods, his hope was that they could be redeemed, find salvation and judgment if they repented against their sins, but instead, nope, all dead. I still think Bayon might have been redeemable, just saying, nothing really wrong with him. I mean, even his father, who was at the hunting grounds, was a fairly okay guy. I mean, he fought more for the thrill of battle that he lost years ago, and he accepted his death on the battlefield, so not terrible. But he realized this would happen sooner or later just because of how they corrupted the system, how they corrupted the world, and how it just looked like a small problem at first, but it just got larger and larger until just absolute anarchy outside. But, he's still a man of God, and he still believes Mujika, her being born with a strange power, is a gift from the gods themselves, and he might not be wrong about that. And that was basically the assumption she came to when fighting against the queen, realizing that the reason she was born was to guide her people into the new world. And so, he thanks them for surviving, for protecting one another all this time, and I love that even Sonja's blushing a little here. It's so just absolutely adorable. I love it. Anyway, now they have everything needed to take over the government and bring about New World Order. Unfortunately, good old PD is a little bit faster on the draw than they are. As the proclamation is given out that the queen and all the regent houses have already been killed, and a new world order is being put in place, ruled by an assembled council. And I'm actually kind of surprised that people are as upset as they are the queen and the regents are dead. I mean, it's fairly well known that they're corrupt and the, people are starving. I mean, I guess you could say, oh, these are the upper class people, so they're more hurt the queen died because they were living well off the queen. Well, if they announced this in one of the poorer villages, they'd be like, good riddance to that. She didn't give us no food whatsoever. I had to eat my own son because of her. I'm glad she's dead. I don't know why I decided to make the poor demon drunk, but I did that and I stand by it. Actually, I gotta admire good old PD right here for unifying all the factions so quickly and so effortlessly. I mean, I laughed at him last chapter, 2 chapters ago, where I said that he was insane if he thought he could take the throne. Nope, he's actually fully capable of taking the throne and becoming king of the demons. Not gonna lie, did not see that coming. I really thought, he'd say, I'm gonna be your new king, and they'd all just laugh at him, or eat him, or something. But nope, he somehow managed to go to all the factions very quickly and convince them, hey, Queen's dead, so how'd you like to have some power by making me your new king? Just saying. Anyway, obviously the people, the demons, aren't going to know that they have a human king now, but he's going to be the one in command of everything behind the scenes, so not great for anybody. Anyway, then Sonju and Mujika is branded as culprits who are behind the murder of the queen, which fairly accurate. And everyone and a whole bunch of people are like, wait a minute, that's not right. We were with them the whole time. They saved us from the infection that was turning us all rampant and wild. And like, oh, you spoke with them? Oh, come with us. We need to hear your testimony right away. And then they're immediately put in cages and sentenced to death for being corrupted by the evil blood. I am kind of curious about this scene right here, though, where the kids are stopped by two soldiers, guards, something, and told, shh, if you tell them you have the evil blood, they'll kill you too. Is this part of Petey's plan to save some evil blood for himself so that he can use it to make demons of his choice immortal, or are these guards just, like, actually good people? I don't know. I'm very curious about that. I mean, definitely interesting if it ends up with those kids somehow rushing in and saving the day. Unlikely, but maybe. Anyway, the Mujika, Sonja, High Priest all start running away, but unfortunately, they're not in great shape. I mean, normally Sonja would have no problem just killing anyone who comes after him, but I mean, first thing, they're, civilians, so he can't really straight up murder them. And for another, the High Priest was just reborn after 700 years frozen, so he's not in great shape. Mujika has given up way too much of her blood to revive all these people and save them. And Sonja has had his arm torn off at least twice. So, yeah, they all need some nice time to rest before they can, actually beat anybody. Anyway, then the guards arrest them, so not great. Not great whatsoever. As for what happens next, I mean, I feel like there's a reason they didn't just straight up murder any of the infected right then and there. I feel like they want to keep them alive moving forward, maybe for experimentation. I definitely see evil blood being useful, maybe they can dissect its properties to figure out how to make orphan children who taste better, who are better, who don't go bad so quickly, continue up with the Lambda experiment, something like that. Hard to say. Also, fairly certain it's going to end up intersecting with Emma's story in some way. I'm just not sure how quite yet. I mean, they're off at Grace Field trying to take out Mom and the demon army, several thousand strong. So I don't think they can come in and save Sonja and Mujika, but maybe once they overthrow Peter, then the other factions will just start killing each other, and then they'll be able to escape. So Emma will save them without even realizing it. I mean, it's also possible that Mujika and Sonja can be brought to Gracefield Farms to continue their interrogation, or as further bait to bring in the rest of the orphans or something like that. I'm not quite sure right now, but let me think all that down below. Is the High Priest going to become the king? Because I still think Sonja's going to end up taking the throne, whether he wants to or not. Be sure to like, subscribe to the next video, and until then,
peace.